All right, strap in, everyone. Today, we're going deep on AI tech that's going to blow your mind.
Oh, yeah.
You know how AI is getting really smart, but sometimes it gives you those, generic answers that are kind of useless?
Mm-hmm.
Well, imagine if we could give AI a cheat sheet, basically, like whispering in its ear, hey, this is what they really need.
Right.
That's basically the whole idea behind this model context protocol.
Yeah, it's like the difference between getting stock advice from some random
Yeah.
person versus like sitting down with a financial advisor who knows you know, your risk tolerance, your goals. That
Exactly.
extra info, that's the context.
And that is what unlocks the AI's real potential.
Exactly.
So get this. Our deep dive today is based on a Spanish article called ¿Qué es el Model Context Protocol, MCP?
Okay.
And luckily, you're fluent.
I am.
So we're getting the info straight from the source.
Straight from the source, yeah. It explains how MCP works.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it's pretty amazing.
Really?
Yeah. We're talking AI so personalized, it's almost like it can read your mind.
Okay, now I'm definitely interested. But hold on, before we get too deep into the sci-fi stuff, let's just back up for a second. What do we even mean by context here? Is it just a fancy word for data?
Well, not exactly. It's more about giving that data meaning. The article uses this cool analogy. It's like a waiter at a restaurant taking your order.
Okay.
So think of MCP as that waiter. It helps the app you're using, like, say, your email or a learning platform or whatever, talk to the AI model, in a way that the AI can actually understand.
So it's like the app is saying, hey, AI, this person wants a steak, medium rare, mashed potatoes on the side, and they're starving, so, hurry up.
Yeah, exactly. And the AI, which is like the chef in this, in this scenario, can then use that context to prepare the perfect meal, or in this case, the perfect response.
I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Okay, so I get the basic idea, but how does MCP actually work? Is this some, super complicated code that only tech people get?
No, it's actually based on three main pillars, which the article does a good job of breaking down. Context definition, information exchange, and then context-based response.
Those sound kind of intimidating.
No, they're not as bad as they sound.
Okay, good. So let's break them down one by one. Let's start with context definition. Is that, where the app tells the AI all about the user?
Yeah, that's the core of it. It's kind of like setting up a profile for the AI.
Okay.
But instead of your, name and birthday, it's stuff like your preferences, your goals, even any restrictions, things the AI should avoid.
All right.
Like, imagine you're using an AI writing tool. You can tell it, like, hey, I'm writing a super formal business report.
Yeah.
Keep it professional, no slang.
So basically, you're setting the ground rules for the AI.
Exactly.
Gotcha. What about information exchange? Is that some kind of secret handshake between the app and the AI?
Haha. Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
It's about making sure they're speaking the same language, right?
Right.
MCP creates, this standardized format for sending info about the user, the task, any limits, and make sure nothing gets lost in translation.
So like a universal translator for AI.
Yeah, pretty much.
To avoid those awkward miscommunications.
Exactly, yeah.
Got it. And then finally, there's context-based response, which I'm guessing is where the AI uses all that context to actually do its thing.
Exactly. This is where the AI shines. It takes all that information and uses it to create a response that's not just relevant, but truly personalized.
It's like the AI is saying, all right, I got all the intel, now watch this.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get it. But honestly, why should the average person, someone who's not a tech expert, why should they care about this whole MCP thing? What's the big deal?
Well, think about how much you use tech every day, right?
Yeah.
Your phone, your computer, maybe even your smart home stuff.
Sure.
MCP has the potential to make all of those interactions way more natural, more intuitive, and more helpful.
So it's not just about making AI smarter, it's about making tech more human-centered.
Yes, exactly. And the article points out some super exciting potential benefits for users. We're talking things like hyper-personalization, seamless interoperability between all your apps, and just crazy efficiency.
Okay, now I need to hear more about these benefits. Give me some real-world examples of how MCP could actually change our lives.
Okay, let's start with something we can all relate to. Customer service.
Ooh.
Imagine calling customer support, right?
Yeah.
And instead of going through that whole frustrating automated menu, you get instantly connected to an AI assistant that knows your entire history with the company.
So it's like they know what you want before you even ask, like that waiter who remembers your favorite drink.
Yeah, exactly. And they can solve your problem way faster than a human agent ever could.
That would be a game changer.
Right. Or imagine a learning platform that can tailor the difficulty and pace of lessons to exactly what you need.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you're not bored to tears in class. You're actually challenged and engaged at your own level.
That would have been amazing back in my school days. Seriously. And these are just a couple of examples, We're talking AI-powered productivity tools that write in your voice, healthcare apps that personalize your treatment plans based on your, medical history and lifestyle.
This is starting to sound like something straight out of sci-fi.
It is pretty wild.
But let's be real for a second.
Yeah.
There have got to be some challenges, right?
Yeah.
Some downsides to this tech. I mean, no tech is perfect.
You're absolutely right. And one of the big challenges the article talks about is getting developers to, actually learn and use this new protocol.
Yeah.
It's kind of like learning a new language. It takes time and effort.
So it's not just about the tech itself. It's about getting everyone on board.
Exactly. And then there's the whole issue of data security, right? I mean, MCP is going to be handling a ton of sensitive info.
Yeah.
Making sure everything is private and secure is, super important.
We don't want our personalized AI assistants accidentally spilling our secrets. Right, exactly. And of course, the AI itself still needs to get better at, actually using the context effectively.
It's like any student. You can give them all the textbooks in the world, but they still need to learn how to think for themselves.
Totally. It's an ongoing process, but the potential is definitely there.
So what's next? What does the future hold for MCP? Does the article give us any clues?
Yeah, it actually paints a pretty exciting picture of what's possible. We're talking MCP handling even more complex situations, integrating with all sorts of advanced data analysis tools, maybe even automating the whole context creation process so it's easier for apps to use.
Wow, it sounds like we're just scratching the surface of what this tech can do.
I think so, yeah.
All right, so to recap for everyone listening, MCP is basically a way to connect the apps we use every day with these increasingly powerful AI models that are popping up everywhere.
Right.
It's about giving AI the info it needs to deliver truly personalized experiences in everything from customer service to education to healthcare.
Exactly. And the article's honest about the challenges like the data security stuff and the need for AI to keep improving. But overall, it's pretty optimistic.
Well, after hearing all this, I'm definitely feeling optimistic too.
Yeah. It really makes you think, doesn't it?
It does. I'm curious, after learning about all this, is there any specific application of MCP that really gets you excited? What part of your life do you think would benefit the most from AI that really gets you?
That's a tough one. There's so many possibilities. But honestly, the education thing really speaks to me.
Yeah.
Imagine every student having a totally personalized learning experience. Tailored to their style, their pace, all that. That's the kind of power MCP could unlock.
It's like the difference between, say, learning a language from some boring textbook versus having, a personal tutor who adapts to how you learn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The article even talks about AI adjusting the difficulty of explanations, the types of examples it uses, even how fast or slow the material goes, all based on the student's understanding.
It's, almost too good to be true.
I know, right?
But if we could actually pull this off, it would completely change how we think about education.
Absolutely. It could, level the playing field. Every student could reach their full potential, no matter what their background is or how they learn best.
And for teachers, it would free up so much time for them to actually, mentor and guide students on a deeper level.
Totally. It's a win-win for everyone.
Absolutely. And speaking of wins, this whole idea of AI as a personalized assistant, not just a generic tool, it makes me think about productivity too. We talked about AI writing in your voice. What other cool possibilities do you see there?
Oh, man. So many. Think about all those tasks we do every day that are just tedious and boring. Scheduling emails, organizing files. MCP could let AI handle all that stuff in the background.
So we can focus on the stuff that actually matters.
Exactly. And because the AI understands your priorities, it makes sure you're spending your time on the right things. No more getting bogged down in busy work.
That sounds like a dream come true for anyone who's ever felt overwhelmed by their to-do list.
Right. It could seriously change how we work, make us more productive, more focused, and ultimately more fulfilled.
I like the sound of that. But let's switch gears for a sec and talk about healthcare. Personalization could have a huge GE impact there, right?
Oh, absolutely. The article mentions these AI-powered medical chatbots that can access a patient's entire medical history, symptoms, diagnoses, medications, everything.
So instead of Dr. Google, you've got this super smart AI doctor on your side.
Yeah, pretty much. And they can give you personalized advice and recommendations based on your specific situation.
Wow. That could be incredible for like people in rural areas who don't have easy access to specialists.
Right. And it's not just about diagnosis and treatment either. Imagine AI assistants that can help you manage your health.
Oh, like reminding you to take your meds.
Yes, scheduling appointments, tracking your progress toward your goals, all that
It's
stuff.
like having a 247 health coach right in your pocket.
Exactly. And for doctors, it could free up their time to focus on, the really complex cases and give more personalized care to those who need it most.
This is amazing. But hold on, with all this personalization and AI accessing all our sensitive info, how do we make sure everything stays private and secure? That seems like a big concern.
It's definitely a huge concern, and the article acknowledges that. One of the main principles of MCP is responsible data handling. So that means encrypting data, controlling what the AI can access, and giving users control over their own information.
So it's not about just handing over all our data to the AI. It's about giving it access to the specific info it needs to do its job while keeping everything else safe and sound.
Exactly. It's finding that balance, personalization without sacrificing privacy.
Got it. So it's like having a trusted friend who knows your secrets but would never, ever betray you.
Uh-huh. I like that analogy.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's on all of us developers, policymakers, users to make sure this tech is used responsibly.
It's a good reminder that tech is never neutral. It reflects our values.
Absolutely.
But let's talk about business for a minute. MCP could be huge for companies, couldn't it?
Oh yeah, no doubt. Think about customer service, marketing, product development, any area where understanding individual needs is key.
Okay.
MCP could help companies create those, like super personalized experiences that customers love.
It's like that feeling of walking into a store and having a personal shopper who knows exactly what you like.
Right. And with MCP, companies could analyze tons of data to really understand customer behavior, then tailor everything they do based on that.
That sounds incredibly powerful. But couldn't all this personalization also be used to manipulate people? Like, if companies know us that well, couldn't they use that info to influence our choices without us even realizing it?
That's a valid point and something we need to be careful about. That's why transparency and user control are so important.
Yeah.
People should always know how their data is being used,
Yeah.
and they should be able to opt out of anything they're not comfortable with.
So, like, knowing the terms and conditions before you sign up for something online, making sure you're not giving away more than you intended.
Exactly. And it's up to companies to be responsible, to use data to make the customer experience better, not to exploit people.
It's about building trust.
Yeah, exactly. A win-win for everyone.
I think that's a key takeaway from this whole conversation about MCP. It's not just about the tech, it's about how we use it.
I'd agree more.
Technology is a tool. Like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad. It's our responsibility to make sure MCP is used to benefit everyone, empower people, and create a better world for all.
Well said. I think that's something everyone listening can relate to. We've covered a lot today. But what's becoming clear is that ACP isn't just some tech innovation, it's a societal one.
Yeah, I agree.
It shows how our relationship with technology is changing. And it gives us a glimpse of a future where tech isn't separate from us, but an extension of us.
That's both exciting and a little scary, honestly.
I know, right?
But it's definitely something worth thinking about.
Absolutely. And who knows, maybe someday we'll look back and be like, wow, we knew so little back in 2024.
Probably. Well, I think we need to move on, but when we come back, we'll dive into even more mind-blowing possibilities, like the impact of MCP on creativity, entertainment, and even like our understanding of consciousness itself. Stay with us.
Welcome back, everyone. Before the break, we were talking about how MCP could totally shake things up in education, healthcare, even how businesses work. But I feel like we're just getting started. The article hints at some seriously mind-blowing stuff, especially when it comes to creativity and entertainment.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is where it gets really wild. Imagine AI helping us unlock creative potential we didn't even know we had.
Okay, like what?
Think about like a musician using AI to write a symphony, or a writer working with AI on a novel, or a filmmaker creating crazy visual effects with AI.
So it's not about AI replacing human creativity.
No, no, not at all. It's
Yeah.
more like enhancing it, pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Right, right. The article gives this example of an architect using AI to design a building. It's not just about making it look cool, but also being super energy efficient and sustainable, using AI to optimize all that.
Wow. It's like having a muse that speaks the language of algorithms.
Exactly.
And this could be huge for entertainment too, right? I mean, we're already seeing AI making music and art,
Yeah,
but with MCP, it could get even crazier, even more personalized.
sure. Imagine streaming services that don't just look at what you've watched before, but they actually know your mood, your interests, even what time of day it is.
Yeah.
And they use all that to recommend stuff you'll actually love. Or
Wow.
think about video games that adapt to how you play, how good you are.
So it's like the game is constantly evolving with you.
Yeah, exactly. It creates a way more immersive experience. And it's not just about passively watching or playing either. What if you could use AI to make your own music, write your own stories, even build your own virtual worlds?
So everyone becomes a creator.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
The possibilities are endless.
It makes you wonder, could this lead to totally new art forms, new types of music, new ways of telling stories that we can't even imagine right now?
That's a really interesting question. And the article kind of leaves it open, but it's definitely possible. MCP could totally blur the lines between
Mm.
human and artificial creativity.
It's like a whole new renaissance. But instead of paint and chisels, it's all about algorithms and data.
Exactly.
Which brings up another question. If AI can be this creative, does that mean it's like getting closer to being conscious?
Ooh, that's a big one. Philosophers and scientists have been debating that for ages. The article touches on it, but it's still a mystery.
Right.
But it's clear that as AI gets smarter, as it starts doing things like being creative, showing empathy, maybe even becoming self-aware, that line between human and machine intelligence is going to get blurrier and blurrier.
It's exciting, but kind of freaky too.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It makes you think if AI can truly understand human emotions, even replicate them, what does that mean for us? For our own sense of self?
Yeah, deep stuff.
But I think the important thing to remember is that technology is a reflection of us. It comes from our values, our dreams, our fears.
So the future of AI isn't set in stone. It depends on the choices we make today.
Exactly. That's why conversations like this are so important. By talking about these things, exploring the possibilities, we can help steer AI in the right direction, make sure it's used to benefit humanity.
Absolutely. Well said. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today, from the nitty-gritty of how MCP works to the potential impact it could have on pretty much every aspect of our lives.
It's been a wild ride, hasn't it?
It has, and hopefully it sparked some ideas and questions for our listeners out there, because the future of AI is still being written, and we all have a part to play in shaping it.
Couldn't agree more.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of MCP. We'll see you next time.